Hey guys! So today I want to show you how you can use Demi Colour to add additional color correction to your usual makeup routine. So we're going to do a little bit of extra color correcting underneath your foundation. For those of us that like a lot more coverage, a lot more flawlessness, to just really hide those things that sometimes foundation and concealer just don't take care of, like melasma or like really dark under eye circles, really angry blemishes, things like that. So I'm going to show you how you can use Demi Colour to filter away those things underneath your makeup. Okay, so I'm going to start with my Demi Colour and do my color correcting first underneath the rest of my makeup, because Demi doesn't really stick on top of other makeup. Like if you apply a full layer of foundation first and then try to add additional coverage with Demi Colour, it's not going to apply to the skin. So the best way to do this is to apply your Demi first underneath anything else. So I have my little everyday Demi palette here. These are like my colors that I use the most for most color correcting needs. So I'm going to be using my Demi Colour today to do my usual problem areas that I generally use Demi for. So I'm going to filter away some of this violet redness around my nose. I have some melasma spots that peek through my foundation. Usually, like there's usually a little bit of a shadow under my foundation. So I definitely like to color correct this a little bit. And then I have some really angry dark spots that would be harder to cover up with foundation or concealer. I'd probably have to use a lot to cover that up, and I don't really love adding that many layers of makeup, so I'm going to use my Demi to conceal those, and then I'll do my under eyes with Demi as well. If you've seen any of my other Demi videos, I'm going to be using all the same colors that I always do, but if you're new to this, watch the magic. So for my nose, first I'm going to start with this really bright yellow-orange color. This is OY1 and my bright brush, and I just have a little bit of it on there. And I'm going to be just lightly buffing this anywhere where I see like icy purple. Like you can see where it's a little bit darker above my nose here, and then in the crease of my nose. See how it already looks so much better, and it's like imperceptible makeup. And now for the rest of it, I'm going to be using this GY1, which is yellow with just a little bit of green in it. And I'm going to be using that to filter away any violet redness I see, which is like most of this underneath here. So I'm just very lightly tapping that GY1 on any redness that's left. See how it just disappears? Perfect. All gone, and it won't crease, and it just looks like my natural skin. It's amazing. So quick primer on what Demi Colour is for anybody who is new to this. So it's what you would typically think of as a color correcting product. What I'm going to be doing is using the opposite complementary color from the color wheel to neutralize the color in my skin. But it's different than traditional color correcting products because it's more of a sheer product. So what it's doing is it's filtering the excess color that you can see. So it's changing what you can see in the face. It's not covering anything. It's not opaque. It doesn't have coverage. It's just taking away the color that you're seeing. So it's really just changing what you see, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm going to attack my area of melasma here. Get really close so you can really see it in all its glory. It's just like a patch right here, and then I have a little bit right here. And no matter what I do with my foundation, it always kind of peeks through with like a little bit of a shadow, and it drives me crazy. So I'm going to use this right here. This is R1. It's pink, basically. But so most hyperpigmentation and melasma in the skin is actually excess green. It looks brown or like kind of orangey even, but really that's just green, yellow, green in the skin. And I'm going to use pink, which is red, to filter away that color. Our skin can change from day to day with how it looks. And I'm looking at my melasma today, and I'm noticing that it really does look To the eye, it looks a little bit more orange, but really what that is yellow green. So it looks a little bit more yellow today than usual. So I'm actually gonna switch and use this color right here. This is VR1. So this is a violet red. So it's pink, but it has just a hint of lavender in it. And that is going to better address the yellow green. Okay, let's filter away some of my dark circles. My dark circles aren't really that bad. Like they're okay, you know. But you know, you can still see a fair amount of shadowing right here. Most of this under the eyes for most people is excess blue. Anytime you see anything dark in the skin like this, it's blue. So I'm going to use some orange to filter away the blue that's causing the appearance of a shadow underneath my eye. So I'm going to use this one right here. This is OY1. And I'm just going to deal, and I like to tilt my head down like this because I can really see like exactly where the darkness is. And I'm going to use this OY1 to just lightly filter away just the darkest points. And I love when I tilt my head back up, it's like so much brighter, so much brighter, so much better. Okay, I'm happy with that. My eyes look just so much brighter, so much better. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of extra color correction just on these really dark healing blemishes that I have. I'm not always sure which color would be best, so it does take a little bit of trial and error, but I think I'm just gonna start with this one right here. This is Y01. It's like a yellow orange to deal with that blue violet. And I'm just gonna very lightly just get any dark spots that I see. It vanished. Can't even see it. I have chosen well with my color choice. See, now for this one, you see there's still a spot there. And so to me, the color that I'm actually seeing remaining is more red. So I'm gonna use, it's like a violet red. So I'm gonna use my yellow green in the center where I see that color that didn't get corrected. It's gone. This guy up here is newer, so it's a little bit more red to my eyes, a little bit more violet. So I'm gonna use that yellow green again. And it's the same kind of deal. I got rid of all the violet redness around it, but there's still a little bit of darkness left in the center of that spot. So I'm gonna take some OY1, some orange, and just get the center of it. Very tiny spots, like pinpoint spots. But look, they're completely gone now. Since I'm here, I'm gonna do this one too. This is like an age sunspot thing. And as you can see, it's really dark. So it's more blue than anything else. So I'm actually just gonna use some orange. I'm gonna use some OY1 on this guy, just on the darkest points, just to tone it down a smidge. Get out of here. Okay. So I've done all of my additional color correcting that I would like to do. I mean, this is like the most perfect no makeup look. It looks like I'm not wearing anything. I just woke up like this, but I want a little bit more glam today. So I'm gonna add my usual makeup on top, but you have to do it in a specific way so as not to disturb the Demi Colour that you did already. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna use my blush and bronzer brush, the smaller side, to just do some more light to medium coverage of my highlight shade on my skin because I don't need tons of coverage anymore. I've erased most of my imperfections. So now I just need to like even everything out. So I'm just tapping this in to my main highlight shade right here. This is White Peach. Now, here's the trick. I'm stippling. Do you see how I'm just sort of pressing the makeup into my skin so I'm not disturbing any of the color correction that I did underneath? Now up here where I did my melasma, I'm just going to lightly tap on some makeup on top of that. I'm just using my accent highlight now, which is a little bit lighter. So it's this guy right here. This is Versailles. Just to add some additional brightness in the center of my face. I really don't want to add a lot more makeup to my under eye area because I just don't like it. I don't like when there's a lot of heavy makeup under my eyes because I feel like it creases and then I need to add powder and then it's cakey and I just don't really love that life. So I'm just taking my brightening highlight and just sort of just lightly adding a little bit just to brighten up and get a little extra coverage and flawlessness on top. Okay, now I'm gonna contour and I'm going to do this one right here. This is Ash. I have a spot there that I used my Demi on, so I'm just very carefully pressing my makeup on top and not swiping away the Demi underneath. Just gonna do a little bit of nose contour. Just using the very sharp edge of my brush to just create some shadow down either side of my nose to make my nose look a little bit more slim and defined. And then underneath my bottom lip, like always. Last step, I'm just going to take a tiny bit of my accent highlight Versailles. I'm just putting the lightest amount down my nose here. Just taking my brush and tapping it over it to blend it out without making it disappear too much. To keep it there, but just make sure that it's not obvious. Gorgeous. Okay, let's finish up the skin. I'm gonna add a little bit of blush and I'm using Madrid, which is just, I think it's my favorite of all the new lip and cheeks that have been released. It's like a satin matte coral. I don't even know how to describe this. I think it's described as a coral by Seint. I'm just gonna take my blush and bronzer brush, just get a little bit on there. And I'm just going to lightly tap this on the apples of my cheeks. Tapping, stippling on the color. I'm gonna add a little bit of this to my lips too because I just love it so much. Last step for the face, I'm gonna add a little illuminator and I have another new one. This is Confetti. It's like a bronzy gold, but it's like really blingy. It's like really shimmery. So I'm just gonna take some of that. This is a cream illuminator, just like everything else. It's creams. And I'm just going to see if I can show you what that looks like. Very pretty, very golden. It's the best finishing touch. Okay, we're gonna do a quick, fun eye look. So I'm gonna do my brows really fast. I'm going to use my usual, this is Cola Contour. It's actually a contour shade, but I use it for my brows, and I'm gonna use my angled brush. Just gonna fill in the gaps and make them look more groomed. BRB. Okay, I picked out these 4 eyeshadows today. I guess it's kind of a monochromatic look because it's kind of like an orangey coral vibe, but this is just what I felt like doing today, okay? So I'm gonna start with this one right here. This is Stay Golden. It's got a slight shimmer to it, but it's just a really good light taupe shade. Very warm toned. Just going to add that to the crease. I'm actually gonna add that a little bit to the bottom lash line too. Just feel like it always rounds out the look. I'm going to take this shade right here. This is Cupcake. It's like a cream matte shade. It's just brightening. That's really what I'm going to use it for. And I'm just going to use this just underneath the brow. I want to brighten up underneath my brow, but I don't want to add shimmer. I'm going to add this just a little bit right here too. I feel like it just makes the eyes look so awake and bright. Now I'm just going to add this shade right here. This is called Crush. It's like a shimmery orange color. This is a shade I don't use often, which is why I wanted to use it. And I'm actually just going to put this on my eyelid, kind of all over, but mostly focusing on the outer corner. And just kind of stopping when I get to the crease. I guess I'm bringing it up into the crease just a little bit. That's fun. And the last little thing I'm gonna do is, you see how metallic this shade is? This is called Aries. It's even hard to get on camera. But it looks like a super foiled metallic cream champagne shade. It has a strange, almost green gold iridescence to it. I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of that, and I'm just gonna put it on my inner corner to just really brighten it up. For my finishing touch, I'm gonna do right here my brow wax. So I'm gonna take my setting spray, just spray just a drop into my brow wax, and I'm gonna take a spoolie. I like to use disposable ones for this, and I'm just swirling it in there. Get it really coated. And I'm just gonna brush my brow hairs up and out. This stuff is amazing. It lasts all day long, and it gives you that really laminated brow look. Sometimes I like to just press it in with my finger. And it just really makes them look laminated. And it will hold all day, and I'm obsessed. Okay, that's it, guys. That's like my full face. So I have my Demi Colour doing some extra, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I don't know. I have Demi Colour doing some extra color correcting, doing some extra heavy lifting underneath my 3D foundation. And I feel like it just gives that more flawless look. And I feel like it's a really great way to hide things that may really bother you about your complexion. If you have a really dark age or sunspot or some melasma like I do, if you have really dark under eye circles, this can add an extra added bit of color correcting. This can be used for a lot of different color concerns. Really, any skin concern that you have, this will give that added boost of hiding those things without adding tons of makeup texture, which just tends to make things look even more obvious in the end. So it gives you that glowing, natural, no makeup look, but just a little bit more flawless. So that is my tips and tricks. If you need help picking Demi colors to address your specific skin concerns, you can fill out my Demi Colour color match form and I will email you some recommendations for what I think would work for you. If you'd like to be color matched for 3D foundation, you can fill out that form as well and I will email you my recommendations for your perfect highlight and contour shades and things like that. So if you need any help at all, just let me know and I will see you next time. Bye.